January 5th? Huh? Now he's going, no. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? Because I don't want to be misreading or misleading or mishearing something, but I could have sworn just a little bit ago when they were...
I'd like to follow up on what Senator Portman said. I agree with his. The Appropriations Committee has always worked in a bipartisan fashion to get money to the...
If there are any stories right now that liberal media is suppressing and not covering, please let me know. I exposed a lot of liberal media organizations last summer for how they suppressed the riots in Portland, how they suppressed the police ambush in Chicago. So I'm about exposing media bias and corruption. I don't care what the political party affiliation is. I don't care about left versus right. What I care about is truth. What I care about is journalistic integrity, which we don't really see a lot of on either side of the media. Shout out to the Pascal Show. They're doing a Senate hearing regarding the police officers from the Capitol attack. The Capitol attack is a blacklisted story in conservative media. That is their Antifa riots. Dozens and dozens of stories have happened after the Capitol attack. They refuse to cover it. So knowing this, I can tell you with a high level of confidence, they are not going to cover what happened today. Let me clarify. So first of all, who's covering it? NBC News, 3 hours and 55 minutes. PBS NewsHour, 6 hours and 50 minutes. Now, I know what some people are thinking, but let me tell you this. Do you really think if Nancy Pelosi was getting impeached and there was a Senate hearing about that these guys would not be live streaming it? Let's not play games. Let's not play games. We're not idiots, right? I'm not an idiot. You're not an idiot, hopefully. Governor Cuomo absolutely lied, and he's responsible for thousands of deaths. If he gets impeached, I guarantee you all of conservative media, they're going to cover it because Cuomo was wrong, and impeachment is going to show that. They're going to want to show that to you. However, anytime their side looks bad, they're going to play games. So you see who's streaming it. 5 hours, 45 minutes. Washington Post. 2 hours on CBSN. As you see, we don't really see any of the conservative channels. Completely silent. Now, some of you are going to go on their channels later and see some potential, some of them, some content about it, and you're going to come back here and say I was wrong. Stay with me. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Fox News, of course, like I mentioned, Cuomo. They got a video about Cuomo. I don't see anything here. Newsmax, I don't really see anything. Blaze TV, of course not. They're still lying. So let me just show you. This is how they work. So they posted this video 3 days ago saying that the mainstream media didn't want to talk about Cuomo. At that time, mainstream media had posted several videos about Cuomo, exposing him. And they've been doing it for days. And they post a video lying, says media says nothing. But let me show you the level of dishonesty. If you challenge them now, they're going to try and change it to, oh, but the thing happened months ago, and they're only talking about it now. That's not what this says. They're saying media says nothing, right? Now look at what they say only a few days later. The media finally discovers Cuomo's nursing home. Why would they post a video 3 days ago saying the media says nothing when the media was saying a lot? And then a few days later, they post a video saying, oh, the media has finally discovered. What? What? Anyway, as you can see, nothing about the Capitol incident, right? They don't want to talk anything about the testimony that's happening today because the Capitol attack is off limits to be talked about in conservative media. Why do you think that is? Why are they so afraid?
Wall Street.
Why are they so afraid to cover it? Tim Pool, who posts a ton of videos, nothing about the Senate hearing today. Stephen Crowder, still pushing voter fraud nonsense. Nothing about the Senate hearing today. Another video about AOC. So nothing about AOC raising $5 million, but he wants to talk about minimum wage. These are the games that these disgusting human beings play in conservative media. And by the way, I don't think it's necessarily about conservatives. I mean, we're talking about conservative media, not conservatives. But I don't think it's necessarily even conservative media necessarily. Because remember, liberal media does this stuff, just not as bad. So if we look at the common denominator, it's not political. I'll explain in a second. Anyway, so Ben Shapiro, nothing. Doesn't want to talk about it. Officer Tatum, nothing. Doesn't want to talk about it. Timcast, nothing. Project Veritas, of course not. Conservative Twins, Coca-Cola, last video they did. Of course, Dave Rubin, I don't even. Oh wow. No. He's talking. Listen, let me show you guys the real deal. I'm gonna break this down for you. So he's making a video calling out, and this is how they just spread something. It just goes throughout the entire. They put out a talking point, and then they all jump on top of it. He's talking about something now that I addressed days ago, right? That's the beauty of not being partisan, right? I call it out wherever I see it, whenever I see it. The video, let me show you on my channel. So I posted about this yesterday. The video is not live yet, but I already addressed this. This is what he's talking about.
Ask you about assaults on federal property.
So anyway, in short, the way that they're framing it is just their talking point. Trying to say, oh, because they attacked a building at night, it's not terrorism. That's not what he said. Perfect example of how disgusting and dishonest they are. What was said was bad enough as it is, but yet they still had to juice it up. He didn't say it's not domestic terrorism because it happened at night. What he was trying to say is that essentially the building was empty and there was no process. He tried to make up this phony, made-up definition where you have to interrupt a process, which ironically is exactly what happened on January 6th. That was our election process. I've never in my life heard terrorism described as interrupting of process, right? I mean, it can be, right? If you bomb a building that has some kind of government process going on, it's certainly terrorism. But the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if what's going on. Bombing a building to push a political agenda is terrorism, whether the building is empty or not. So that was a silly statement that he made, pointing out that his line is whether it's affecting process or not, right? So what he said was ridiculous. I pointed it out accurately. But all of conservative media, they're all running the same talking point of, I saw it, what's his name? Andy No did it, right? Dave Rubin did it, and we saw the other channel that did it. The talking point of, oh, it's not terrorism because it's nighttime. Clearly, what was said would indicate that you could do terrorism at night if there's a process. His thing was not about the time of day, it was about process. So if we are counting votes at 11 o'clock at night and you go in and attack the building, per his definition, that's terrorism. So terrorism can happen day or night, even using his ridiculous definition. But they have to spin it and try to make it sound even more ridiculous. And this is what people who watch conservative media, this is what you're constantly being bombarded with. Inaccurate, dishonest propaganda over and over again, saying things that are not true. And all these ideas are in your brain about things that people said that they didn't actually say, and you don't even know because you're in this bubble. Also, let's take a look at, finally, conservative Twitter. So we got all the usual suspects in here. Breitbart. So I look for Senate. Is anyone even tweeting about the Senate? The trial today. Breitbart is, most of the Senate stuff, it's the Merrick Garland stuff they're talking about. So here's Breitbart talking about what I just talked about, that I did a video about yesterday. I don't know what Rand Paul's talking about, but it's not the Senate hearing. Oh, Maria Bartiromo actually. No. Instead of showing you what's happening, she's showing you this guy talking about it. And that's what they do. That's the next thing I was gonna talk about. We'll talk about that in a second. Daily Wire, nope. Breitbart again. That's it. And that's it. There's no more tweets. So they are completely blacklisting this. No one's talking about it. No videos, no tweets, no nothing. You cannot talk about the Capitol attack off limits, with an exception, which I referenced earlier in this video, because some of you are going to say, oh, you're going to go and see some video post on one of their channels, possibly Blaze TV, maybe Tim Pool, maybe Steven Crowder, right? The worst of them would be the ones that might post something. But this is what they'll do. While liberal media shows you the entire thing, Pascal's show, showing the entire thing, streaming the entire thing. So you're able to see all the stuff that was an attempt to make the Democrats look bad. He allows his audience to see them saying, hey, Antifa did it, right? He allows them to see that, and they can accept or reject it. He also allows them to see the other side as well. Just like we saw with the impeachment trial, liberal media did the hours-long streams, allowing their audience to see both sides, the Trump attorneys and the impeachment managers. So if you're watching liberal media, you're being given much more information. If you go to conservative media, what they'll do is they give you spin, and that's what you might see later on today. Go check whenever you see this video. Go to Blaze TV, go to Steven Crowder, go to Tim Pool. You're either going to see no videos about the trial today, or you will see videos, but it's pure spin. They're not going to show you anything that makes Trump supporters look bad. So in other words, it'll be one-sided. They might grab some clips from whoever's, supporting the Trump side, saying stuff about, you guys, if you guys knew, then why was it that there was insecurity or whatever, right? They put those clips, and then they'll go in and they'll start talking and say, you see, and Pelosi's responsible, and then this and that, and then you know what it is? And you see the Democrats, and they want to make this all about Trump, but right? They're going to tell you how to think because they think that you're too dumb to think for yourself. Liberal media shows you both sides, allows you to decide, and let me be clear, liberal media has a lot of propaganda as well, right? So it's not that they're better specifically, even though they have been. The stuff I see in conservative media is way worse than I've seen in liberal media. But both sides will show you the information when it supports them. However, liberal media is more willing to show you stuff that doesn't support them. Like, for example, showing this full hearing. Letting you see them talk about Antifa did it and blah, blah, blah. Letting you see that. They let their audience see that, right? As well as letting them see the other side as well. Conservative media is extremely reluctant to let you outside of the echo chamber, to let you see the other side. I literally watched on Blaze TV. They took a bunch of clips, they've done this before, from the trial of people defending Trump. And that's all they showed you. They didn't show any of the impeachment managers speaking. They just show you Trump attorneys saying, oh, this is ridiculous, and the Democrats had revenge. And then they do their little video, and they say, yeah, and the Democrats revenge, and this and that. And then this was nothing, and they had no evidence. They're telling you what to think. Rather than letting you hear the trial for yourself, hear what was said, hear both sides. They suppress one side, amplify the other. Spin, cover up. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Guys, go check for yourself. You can show me to be a liar. Go check conservative media today and see if they show the hearing in its entirety like liberal media has, showing you both sides. So we already confirmed liberal media, in this instance, they don't always do that. They hide stuff, right? They hide the riots, left-wing extremists. They hide that stuff. Chicago ambush, they hide that stuff, right? But they showed both sides of the full impeachment trial on average, and they're showing both sides of the Senate hearing. Conservative media showed you either nothing or just the Trump side or pure opinion and spin. They don't even show you any of the trial at all. They're so consistently partisan and so consistently propaganda that I am anticipating that they're going to do the same thing again. It's not an accident. This is how they operate. They will not show you the full trial of what happened today. They will show you nothing, or they will show you just spin, so their opinion and how it's dumb and the Democrats, blah, 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 blah. Maybe some clips of like pro-Trump stuff, some Republicans talking and giving a smackdown, but they're not going to show you the other side. If they know they're right, why are they so afraid to show you the other side? Answer that. If the other side is wrong, show it. Let us see them make their case. Let your audience see them make their case and be able to say, yeah, this is nonsense. Why do you have to think for your audience? Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Blaze TV. What are you afraid of?